Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast. I'm your host, Oliver, as always, joined again by Sharpie, back from his sick leave.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, hello.
Sounds pretty sick in the background still. And we have a special guest, Lockie.
How are we, lads?
Oh, I'm all right. Sharpie sounds like he's still sick, so don't
Yeah.
get me sick, Sharpie.
Yeah.
The Premier League's 2 weeks in. We're going to go through some predictions, some different predictions this time. So we'll start off with the champions. We'll go Lockie, Sharpie, then me.
He's starting me off.
Yep, putting you under the
Oh, you're
pressure.
Pressure's on.
Yeah.
The pressure's on. Look, it really hurts me to say this, but I can't see City losing. Really can't see Man City losing. Yeah, they've started off pretty well, and I can't see them getting knocked off. Unfortunately, it hurts me to say it, being a United supporter, but
Sharpie,
Yeah. Well, I think yeah, Chelsea City would be an obvious answer. They lost to Tottenham. That's probably the only quality team that they've versed so far. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Chelsea in that. They haven't versed any quality teams until this weekend against Liverpool. But yeah, that's all I really got. Really, City or Chelsea. I don't think any other teams can catch up to those two.
Well, I didn't hear anyone mention Liverpool, which is a bit disappointing, but
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, I think it's Man City across the board anyway. I can't see anyone else getting close. Unless Liverpool, I don't want to say Chelsea because I hate Chelsea. So, but
no,
they're probably the
definitely
biggest
agree
contenders.
with you there, Sharpie. I definitely agree with you there, Chelsea. We were talking before we jumped on here, and I think Chelsea are a bit of a smoky to maybe Pip City this year. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, obviously with the quality they've got up front in Lukaku and Werner and Mason Mount, who's an underrated midfielder in the Premier League, should be talked about more. Probably the way he plays in such a unique way, and I think he's like third or second in big chances created as well for Chelsea. So they're going to get a lot of goals this year with their defense. I think as well, with Rudiger performing well, and obviously that Chalobah bloke coming in. I think we might see a Chelsea Premier League title winners this year.
Let's all hope not, though. Back to you,
Don't leave
Lockie.
United out.
For the overachievers, who do you think is going to overachieve this season?
This was one that I actually really struggled to think of. I was tossing up between West Ham and Leeds, but then I was thinking, I'm like, is it really overachieving? Because the way West Ham started and the way they finished last season, I was like, geez, I don't know whether that'd actually be overachieving, because they're actually playing really, really good. So I'd probably have to go with Leeds. I just like the way they play, but it just depends if they can keep it up. I think they're so attacking that they leave themselves a bit vulnerable at times and get goals scored against them. So I still like the way they play. So I think I'll probably go with them, because I think it'll be a bit of a kick in the guts to West Ham. Not going to lie, because I think they're going to be a pretty good team this year.
How about that, Sharpie? A Man United person back in Leeds.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind them.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Definitely.
You're an Aussie. You've got to have a bit of a soft spot for Leeds with the great Mark Viduka back in the day.
The GOAT.
They're definitely enjoyable to watch, though. So I see where you're coming from. I was tossing up between West Ham and Villa. West Ham finished great, and I don't really think you can. It was hard for me to put them in there, so I thought I'd go Villa with the signings they've made. Danny Ings surprisingly leaving Southampton. I think they've spent the money for Grealish so far pretty well, so I think they can break into the top 8, and that's overachieving for them. Sharpie, what about you?
I've got Everton. I reckon they've got quality all over the pitch. Maybe not in the right back spot. I reckon the midfield is a very underrated midfield with Doucouré, Alan, and maybe James when he comes back. Hopefully, Tom Davies can probably put in that slot well. Getting Damari Gray for only 1.2 million from Bayern Leverkusen was a great move for them. I think, with Charleston as well, hopefully he doesn't play for Brazil in the international break, but I'm thinking Everton.
Is James going to stay, Lamb?
I'd like him to stay. I don't think Rafa wants him to stay, but
the left back's pretty bad, isn't he, Sharpie?
And like you got Calvert-Lewin as well, like unbelievable striker.
Yep. How good's Digne though, Sharpie?
Yeah, no, he's
absolutely
40 is technically, like his technical ability, like his passing in that is phenomenal. So.
Well, that
for Everton to have a player of that quality is
their centre. Who's that centre? Who's that centre back?
Yerry Mina.
That oh my goodness! I tell you what.
You scuffle with Bamford, not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan. Yeah, not a fan.
It's a bit disgusting, and Jack Lee loves him, so shout out to Lee.
Yeah, nah.
And we love Lee.
Yep, that we do.
All right, moving on. Underachievers. We'll go back to you again, Lockie.
Gives me great pleasure. It's Arsenal every day of the week. Every day of the week.
Oh, come on. You don't see them being successful at all?
No, not in any way. Not in any way. It could come back to bite me, but I think the way they've started, apart from obviously having a win, they had a win not last night, the night before. Aubameyang's a big in for them. He's a absolute gun. So yeah, if he stays healthy, they've obviously got a better chance. But yeah, I can't see them making the top four.
What do you reckon you leave it down to though? Do you reckon it's the players they've got, or is it the manager, or
a bit of both?
Because obviously having a lot of flack.
Yeah, but that's just the way that the coaching and managerial stuff goes. You obviously seen what happened with David Teague in the AFL. We'll probably get to that later, maybe, I'm not sure, but it's always the coach that cops it.
You know that as a thirds coach, wouldn't you?
Yep, correct. But yeah, I can't see anyone else. Obviously, Arsenal are a pretty big team, and they're expected to be performing at a pretty high level. And yeah, they haven't been so far, but they could change, could turn things around. So you never know. But that's my guess.
Sharpie, anything different?
Yeah, I've gone with Arsenal as well. Me being a Stoke supporter, that's probably the best bet for me to go because I hate them. Yeah, it's just their defense has just been shaky for ages. Like, I think they've only scored 7 goals in their last 5 games as well. And, like you said with Aubameyang, I think I read something the other day that Arsenal are willing to let Aubameyang go and they're not going to stand in his way to let him leave. So
that's
I don't know, they haven't really brought in any big names this season. So I can't really see them even getting into the Europa spots. Maybe like they're in relegation at the moment. Hopefully they stay there this season. So that'd be nice.
And then Stoke can come in and take their spot.
Exactly. Well, we're going to do it anyway. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, they've spent the most this transfer window, I'm pretty sure, in the Premier League. I think they've spent 130
Well, they brought in Odegaard or something, didn't they?
They just brought in Odegaard. They brought in that
back.
They brought in Ben White from Brighton. They brought in
not Mustafi.
Yeah, they were good when he was there. When he was
they brought in that pace on FIFA.
They brought in that Tavares at left back who featured on the weekend. So,
well, I mean, Tierney's still a pretty good left back. I like Tierney, but I'll go with something different because I did have Arsenal listed, but I also have Spurs. I mean, with Harry Kane more than likely going to stay now, I think they're going to be going for a top 4 spot. I don't think they're going to get near it, and they would be expected to get top 6. But it wouldn't surprise me if, say, a Villa or Everton, Leicester are going to be there, but one of them knock them out. So I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs fall out of European spots as well. And it'll be interesting to see how Kane plays, knowing you didn't get that transfer.
I really hope Spurs do well.
You like Spurs, do you?
Yeah, I just love Harry Kane. He's a gun. He's a gun. And I just wish he got a chance at playing for titles. But anyway, moving on.
Moving to Man City.
Moving on.
Top goal scorer. Who have you got?
Lukaku.
That's who I had as well.
Yep. Mate, that first game, like obviously I watched that. I think I watched the first half of that game, and then it got a bit too late, and then I turned it off. And yeah, the way the way they set up that goal was just, if they keep playing the way that they are, I think he's going to get a lot of chances. And he's obviously been quite a good goal scorer the last few seasons since he left United, which is great. And I think he'll be the only one that could get close to him. I think is Harry Kane, depending on when he gets his match fitness back up and going. So I can't really think of anyone else that could get close, to be honest. Apart from maybe Salah and Mane, but they're like keep taking goals off each other. So
you any different, Sharpie?
Yeah, I've gone with a bit of an outsider here. I've got Heung-min Son from Tottenham.
Don't mind that.
Especially last season with him and Harry Kane and how well both of those play together. I think, and maybe Harry Kane not playing games this year. I reckon Son's going to be the main goal scorer for that team. So I'd like to see him maybe score about 25 plus goals this season.
I have Lukaku, but I've put down a note here. Would you consider Ronaldo an outside chance if he gets the move in a week or two to play for Man City? Would you include him in there?
Depends. It's been a while since he's played EPL.
I'd like to see how he fits in Pep's system first, because they've just got multiple goal scoring options, and that's I'd like to see how he goes first before I make a call on that.
If he goes to City,
it's cooked.
You're going to need a therapy session.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
I've already been
I don't think it will ruin his legacy from United and that. Like,
I've been dealing with one angry United supporter this morning, and he wasn't very happy. So,
we got another one in the call.
Yeah, we've got another one.
Anyway,
we'll move on now. Golden Glove.
I've gone with Alisson.
Yes. Finally,
that'll make you happy, Ollie.
I didn't go with
you
him.
Happy. Didn't you?
No, I went with Mendy, even though I hate Chelsea. They've just got such.
I was tossing up between those two, but I went with Alisson mainly because he's in my fantasy team.
Well, I only went with Mendy because they didn't concede much at the end of last season, and they usually play. I think they play technically a 3-back formation, but they've got wing backs playing in the midfield anyway. So they were playing. I was listening to the commentary, and they kept saying they changed from like a 3-back to a 5-back, and they just like change it up, which is crazy to think the tactics and like all the skill that actually takes to be able to do that in the game. It's just ridiculous. I think it's just
I went with Alisson because but I think having the big Virgil van Dijk back will help the man's cause, because he was unbelievable in that game that I watched. Who did they play?
Burnley.
The game that we were watching, and he was just an absolute freak. So that's definitely going to help his cause, I reckon.
Asserting dominance. Sharpie?
Yep. I've gone with Edison from Man City.
Oh,
yep.
I think, especially with that back four, I don't know who their left back is right now.
Not Mendy. He just got.
Yeah. I think I got Ruben Dias is probably one of the best centre backs in the world at the moment, over Van Dijk, close. And then you got Laporte, you got Cancelo, Walker, and I think he's great. I think he's got good positioning. He's very flexible. Pause. I think so. Yeah, I think Edison.
Am I missing a pause? Did I hear a pause there?
Would not disagree.
Yeah, I just didn't want to sound sus. When I said the flexible thing.
I knew what you were going with there.
I wasn't keeping track of that. Well, we've all gone.
Would they play Nathan Ake at left back?
I think he has the technical ability to play that position.
Did Man City play 3 at the back at times and then just play an attacking right back in Cancelo?
I'm just looking at their squad now, and I'm like, so they got Kyle Walker, Ruben Dias.
I'm pretty sure they play a 3-back with
João Cancelo, and then Felipe Sandler.
Oh yeah, I think he just went out on loan.
I don't think they play with they don't play with a recognised left back. I wouldn't have thought. I could be wrong. I'm just trying to get that up now. But yeah, they had a 4-back of Diaz, Laporte,
Cancelo, and Walker. So yeah, Cancelo can go over to the left side.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe that's what I guess that's probably what they do. next one, young talent. Who are you keeping an eye on this year?
And how young is young?
Probably under 23. Probably could
I've gone with the great man that United picked up in the transfer window. He better wreak some absolute havoc this season.
I knew you were going to go with him.
Yeah, he's my pick. Haven't seen much from him yet, but he's only got I think he got 20 minutes in the first game and then 35 in the second. And the second game we were just absolute rubbish. I was pulling my hair out watching that game. But yeah, I'm hoping that he'll be able to get some good minutes and hopefully play well. So he's mine.
I think he needs to start getting played more. I don't know why he's not getting any minutes right now. It's just beyond me. You bring in a signing of that magnitude because you've got no one on that right side and you're not playing him. So
yeah, it doesn't make a great deal of sense at the moment. But anyway.
Sharpie, did you have anything different?
I had Harvey Barnes from Leicester City. I reckon he brings good pace on the wing, very creative, which is what I like. Gone with Reece James also from Chelsea. I think this guy should have been England, the first choice right back for England, probably over Trent. But he applies good pressure for Trent for that England spot at right back.
Don't know how I feel about that.
And how well he played on the weekend, setting up that goal for Lukaku. Pretty sure he scored as well.
Yeah, he did score a good goal.
And I've gone with a bit of a random one here, but it's not going to be a random one. I think Liam Delap from Man City.
Delap, is that the one that played for Stoke?
Son of Stoke legend Rory Delap. Probably, he just signed a new contract at Man City. I think Pep wants him to stay, which is good. Obviously didn't get the loan move through to Stoke, which would have been awesome for us. But yeah, I think he's going to be something to watch out for.
Does he have that long throw-in trait?
Yeah, I don't even think City have any players over 6'3" to do it too.
I've gone something quite different. I've gone for Emile Smith-Rowe from Arsenal. I don't watch a great deal of Arsenal games, but I've watched a half of one of their games, and I've seen him play on some highlights, and he's really good at keeping the ball at his feet, and he's good at passing. But it'll be interesting to see. I think you got Saka and Odegaard now. They're like for like players, so I mean, whether he gets the time to actually prove himself will be interesting. But that's one I'll keep an eye on. The next one is ones to watch. Lockie, I'll let you go again.
Same as the last one. Sancho.
I had
Sancho, however the hell you say it.
I had him too.
Yeah. I just can't wait for him to hopefully, like I said, get some minutes. Trust in Ole. He's got to have a plan, but yeah, unleash the beast.
Sharpie, you any different?
I've got Ben Rama from West Ham.
Not Antonio.
The link-up play with him and Antonio being great this season. One that I'm hoping that he does well is Ivan Toney from Brentford. This guy should have been in the Premier League a long time ago. Got released from Newcastle, dominated the Football League, especially at Peterborough and Brentford last season in the Championship, helping them get promoted. So I'm hoping he does well. So, yeah.
Well, I've gone with Sancho. I think it'll be interesting to see, because I think I was speaking with you earlier, Sharpie, how Bruno basically was restricted to one side of the field before Sancho come, and now he's got that right wing that he can actually flick balls out there instead of always going down the left side. And it'd be interesting to see how Bruno is affected by the signing of Sancho. We'll move on to this weekend's games. I've only got a few games to preview. So if anyone else wants a game to mention, just let me know. But we'll start off with the first game, City versus Arsenal. I think it's just going to be a drubbing, to be honest.
Gonna be a lot of one-way traffic, I think.
I think it's going to be City 3-0 or 4-0.
Yeah,
Arsenal will be lucky to get a goal.
I've got City 3-0 as well.
I think we can move.
It's going to be interesting, I reckon, to see if they bring in if Odegaard will start straight away. I don't know whether he played in the game. Did he play in the game that they won the other day?
I
don't think he played in the cup match.
Yeah, I don't think he would have. They'll play in West Brom, so I don't think.
I think he'll play this weekend, though. I think since he's played there last season on loan, I don't really think it's going to take him time to adjust. It's just whether he's fit or not.
Yeah. He's going to be big if he can get going. It's going to be big for them, I think.
He played.
Oh, did he?
Played 61 minutes, got an assist. So
yeah,
there you go. Well,
yeah,
still not going to change the result.
No, no, definitely not.
Next is probably the match of the weekend. I don't think there's much doubt is Liverpool Chelsea. Now I was a bit
this one.
I was concerning. It was concerning a bit watching Liverpool last week against Burnley. They didn't really look like they got out of first gear at times. Just how easy sometimes Burnley got into our attacking half, or their attacking half. But I think we were missing Fabinho, so I think he'll come in and start hopefully, and I think Thiago will start this week. And I don't think, as much as it was enjoyable to watch Harvey Elliott play, I don't think he'll be starting this game.
Still don't know what you've seen in him.
Sam likes him, but
he got a nice assist, didn't he? But God, from what I was watching, I was like, oh my God, what is this bloke doing?
He had a pretty bad first half. He was getting fouled a lot. They were targeting him early, which I presume it's because it was his debut. But he worked his way into the game in the second half. But I mean, I don't see him starting. If he starts this week, I'll be very surprised, to say the least. But yeah,
very, very surprised. I've honestly got Chelsea winning this. I'm sorry to say it, Ollie. Sorry to say it. But yeah, I think it'll only, if they win, I think it'll be like only 1-0. But it's gonna be an absolute cracker of a game. But
2:30 in the morning, so it's gonna be a shit time to get up.
Sharpie,
your thoughts?
Be ideal.
I've got actually gone with Liverpool 2-1 here. I think Salah's chance creation, maybe Robertson back this week for Liverpool. It's going to be good. It's going to be Lukaku versus Van Dijk, which is going to be interesting.
That's going to be unreal.
But the two games that Chelsea haven't played, they haven't conceded a goal yet. So maybe that might go the other way around. Who knows?
Well, there was videos circulating on the internet of Van Dijk and Joel Matip manhandling Lukaku when he was at Man United. So let's hope that can happen again. But I think we've all got a different result. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. So I wouldn't be disappointed in that, but obviously I expect Liverpool to hopefully win. The last game I've got to talk about here is United and Wolves. I don't know who United are going to bring back in. I'll be very surprised if they start Fred and Matic together, two defensive midfielders. I'll let you go on about this, Lockie, because you're...
Well, McTominay is out injured. He's having groin surgery.
Oh.
So that really hurts because it was a very, very hard game to watch. Being
Not
a Man United supporter the other day. Not a fan at all. Even Matic looked very, very ordinary. I don't know I don't really want him to put Pogba back into that holding midfield position because he's been so good with Bruno up in that. He's nearly been playing a wing almost. Like he's just been, I've really liked the way he started. But those two holding mids, I tell you, it was really, really making me very, very nervous.
Yeah. So do you have Man United winning?
I do. I think it'd be like 2-1 or something like. I think it'd be something like that. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. Because even our backs, it'd be interesting to see if Varane starts.
He needs to start.
He needs to.
Lindelof didn't do much wrong, but I think when you got
I think he was nearly better. I nearly think he was better than Maguire.
Yeah, Maguire had a shocker, but I think
he was sus.
You bring in someone like Varane and you haven't played him yet. I mean, I know he's only been there a week and a half, but you need to get him in.
You'd think he'd be keeping fit.
Yeah.
And like, not a bad game to bring him in for either against Wolves. Like, yeah, they're not like they're no slouch, but it's not like you're bringing him in against like a Liverpool or a Chelsea or anything like that.
Yeah. Sharpie, what do you think?
I've gone with United to win this game, probably 3-0 or something. You know, Wolves leaking in goals, a third most goals conceded this season, and versus the second most goals scored in United. So.
5 of them against Leeds, given it.
Yeah.
But that just show like we can do it though.
Yeah, and I think Wolves haven't scored in their last 2 home matches as well. So, you know, especially come up against a strong United team, even though they're away this week, United, I still think they're probably going to be losing this one. They haven't won a game, and also they haven't won a game in their last 5 home games as well. So that's also a bit scary for them.
And United are going for a record. Most
are we away again?
Yeah. So it's away. So it's most undefeated games away. I think it's at 22. I think. I could be wrong.
There's actually a stat here before that I forgot to mention about the Arsenal and City game. And it says, this is on the EPL's website, that Arsenal have lost each of their last 8 Premier League meetings with Man City, their joint longest run of consecutive defeats against a specific opponent in their league history.
Well, it's about to be 9.
That's since 1973 and 76.
Yeah, that's
a fair.
I wouldn't be surprised though if Arsenal do pull this one out and win. Like,
just pull something out of nowhere.
Yeah, just to keep Arteta's job.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it would be 2-1 United. I wouldn't be surprised though if it's a draw. Anyway, Sharpie, is there any?
I think there could be a lot of goals scored.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
I think there could be a lot of goals scored. Not going to lie.
Who does Stoke play this weekend, Sharpie?
We play Fulham, top of the table. Fulham versus third place.
Is it going to be? Is it going to be a cold, rainy day at Stoke? Is that the question? That's the question.
I think it might be in the championship this week. I think we're away this week.
Oh, you're away. It's not a home game.
I'm pretty sure we're away. Yeah, we're away at Fulham this week.
Well, Ronaldo's going to have to deal with that next year if he comes to the Premier League.
Exactly.
Yep.
No, he's going to go straight out. As soon as he sees big Harry Souttar, he's gone.
Harry Souttar will be in the Premier League soon enough. No doubt. Well, I think that's all the main games to be. I don't really think we need to speak about any other games.
Discussed.
We'll move on. I have a question since we've got a Man United supporter here.
Oh boy.
We'll let you start the debate. Is Bruno better than Kevin De Bruyne at this moment? Not Premier League career-wise or anything, because obviously KDB's got that, but is he better than KDB at the moment? You can't win or lose here either. They're both
I don't think he is
great players,
but I think he's more important to his team. I think Bruno is probably more important to United than De Bruyne is to City, because they can bring more people. They've got more depth. Whereas if we lose Bruno, we're screwed pretty much.
I think that's what I was going to go off. I think KDB is the better player, but if you're taking in leadership and everything, Bruno has changed Man United for what they are.
Yeah, 100%.
He's made them back into a top 2, top 3 team. And I mean, looking off stats, you could probably say Bruno's better, but half of his goals last season were penalties. That's just something that has to be discussed. And there's stats of Bruno against top 6 teams and Leicester, so 7 teams. He had 1 goal, 1 assist, and 1 penalty. I think it's just his consistency in showing up in big games. So I still think,
and I think they match up better against him as well. They know how to play against him, and it obviously doesn't help the team either. But that's the thing. If you play against Man United, you just got to stop one person.
Yeah, basically. Well, Pogba's starting to show that he can.
True. We need him
together some games. So, Sharpie, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I think Bruno is probably better at this moment. I think you can take out De Bruyne in that team, in City team, and there's still heaps of creativity options. They're just in the midfield and on the wings as well. So I'd probably say Bruno for now.
Yeah, I think
mate, I think last season you might have had more goal scoring contributions.
So I've got some stats here. De Bruyne was injured for a chunk of the season, so Bruno did have 12 more games, but Bruno had 12 more goals, given that half of his goals were penalties and 2 of KDB's 6 goals were penalties, and they had the same amount of assists, and Bruno had 1 more big chance created. So I mean, they're very similar in a way, but then again, you got to put it. Man City have got Bernardo Silva and players like that, and Bruno's got Rashford maybe and Greenwood, but I don't know if he featured much last year. So I mean, I think
who got left out of the England squad.
Yeah, I think once Bruno gets some consistency in those top 6 against those top 6 teams, it will be hard to argue. But for me, I still think KDB, but that's because I really like him and he's one of my favorite players to watch. Definitely not diverse.
That's fair. That's fair.
Now we've all got a fantasy league. Is there any fantasy topics anyone wants to talk about? Any big changes they've made to their team? I know
I'm not saying anything to you. I'm on top of the table. I'm keeping
Here we go.
Keep my formula to myself.
Here we go.
I know. I bought in Thiago.
Ooh. I bought Thiago in and got rid of Saka, only because I think there's a bit of a injury cloud or something over him. So there was something popped up for him. I'm like, right, I'll get rid of it. And obviously Arsenal aren't going that great either, and I'm not a massive fan of the way they're going at the minute. So I bought Thiago in thinking he might come in for the big game against Chelsea. So apart from that, that was the only change that I made to the team. And obviously brought Laporte in after having him on the bench and scoring 13 or whatever it was. That really hurt. So, that's the only changes that I've made to my team. So the hunt is on, Sharpie.
Yeah, we're all coming. I think I made like 5 changes because I finished bottom and was pretty disappointed. I brought in a couple of West Ham players in Antonio and Ben Rama. Going up against Crystal Palace, surely get some points. I had to take out, I've benched a couple of Chelsea players just because they're versing Liverpool. Whether that's the smart decision or whether that's just going with my heart and hoping Liverpool put 3 past them, we'll soon find out. But I'm remaining Fernandes as my captain. Surely he'll show up.
Yeah, same
this week. But yeah, I needed to make some changes.
Hope so.
All right. Well, that's it for the Premier League, which leads us into everyone's favourite part of the week. Slugs. Horsy. Everyone's favourite part, as always. So first one is race 5, number 1 at Caulfield, Masked Crusader. Second is race 6, number 1 at Caulfield, Probabile. Hopefully I'm getting that right. And his each way of the day is race 7, number 18 at Caulfield, Kainan. Now you like the horses, Lockie? You like those selections?
Oh, look, I'd have to look into it. I haven't really haven't been on that a lot recently. But I'm back and slugging. He's had a bit of a rough start to the year from what I've heard. So you got to back the great man in, and I think you'll get a couple this week, surely.
He sent me a message today saying that he's extremely confident this week. So hopefully he gets he'll probably get 2 out of 3. I'm picking out of him. So
I'm backing him in.
Yeah,
I'm backing him in.
Moving on to the AFL, we'll start off. It is finals this weekend, but I think we'll start off with some other topics. So we'll start off with the Brownlow. Who does everyone think will get the Brownlow?
You got to back the local boy in. I reckon Clary gets it. I reckon he obviously won the Coaches Player of the Year award, which is, in my opinion, probably the biggest, if not just under the Brownlow, coming from the coaches. So I think he'll take it out. But yeah, obviously Ollie Wines had a really good year as well, and the Bont finished off a bit slow, but he'll get plenty of votes early. So it's going to be a really good count, I think. So, but I'm hoping Clayton does. That'd be awesome for him, and obviously coming from a opener, the local boy as well. It'd be good to see him win it, I reckon.
well, two types of locals basically, Marupna and Echuca. So I mean,
true.
Either one wins, but I want Oliver to win. I expect it'll be very close. I think it'll be 1 and 2 votes. I think if Bont's going to win, he has to win from round 15, round 16 onwards because he did not show up after that. But looking at their stats, their disposals, the efficiency, everything's very close. They're basically even. The one thing that is interesting is Clayton did break the record for the most contested possessions in a home and away season. So, I mean, whether that gives him the nod, I'd hope so. But then again,
that's a lot of contentions. A lot of contentions.
Then again, you got Petrarca to compete with, whereas Wines has got Boak, and that's about it.
And
so
Robbie Gray pops up and has a couple of really good games. So they both got a lot of players that take votes off him. So it's going to be very interesting. Because obviously Track had some absolutely unreal games where he had like 30 odd possessions and kicked a few goals as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting, I think.
Sharpie, any comments on this?
Bont. Yeah, Bont's winning the whole thing.
Coming from a dog supporter, what a surprise.
I reckon Jack Steele's a bit of a smoky too.
Yeah. Did they win enough games?
Yeah, it's going to be the question. But I think even if I reckon even in the games that they lost, I reckon he could steal like one vote still. So I reckon he's a bit of a smoky.
He was big for my fantasy this year. So I have a soft spot for him. But other big news, Teague, I forgot his first name.
Oh. David.
David, that's it. Got fired from Carlton. Pretty stiff.
Yep. Yeah, it's obviously not ideal. Like I was saying earlier, it's the coach that gets the flick most of the time when things don't go well. But they've obviously had a internal review and everything like that, and that was the findings of it. And I'm more interested to see who they bring in to replace him. It's going to be obviously, I think Ross Lyon's probably the biggest one at the moment to take over that spot. But Teague's obviously been put through the ringer the last month and a half to 2 months with a lot of speculation, and unfortunately he lost his job. So
my biggest concern with Carlton is how long can they keep up this chop change with the coaches and everything? They had Brendan Bolton before, they replaced him with Teague, and then Teague's out the door quickly as well. So they obviously didn't trust Teague long enough.
I think the issues are a bit further up.
Yeah. How many coaches do they have to have before something up in the higher ups changes?
When you're offering Zach Williams $800,000 a year and Sard a massive contract, and now Chera wants to go there and he'll probably get a massive contract. I mean, how can you pay for all these players? Like, how are they going to pay for Walsh in the future? And it's just
Harry Mackay and all these boys. And
are they going to be
interesting
long term? So
it's going to be interesting. But it makes me think of, like, obviously Dimmer when he was going, he almost lost his job, and then they obviously showed a bit of loyalty in him. And what do you know? They've won 3 flags.
Won the grand final the very next year after they were asking for him to be sacked. So I mean,
you got to there's got to be some sort of continuity with footy clubs to get some form of success, I think. But it's pretty sad because obviously Teague's a really good guy and love the club. Like I think Eddie Betts was on the front bar last night and he spoke about how much he loved the club and the boys and everything. So it's sad, but that's the industry that he's in. So,
and that's another thing. Like, it didn't seem like any of the players were actually asking for him to get the sack or anything. No. It's not like you had key players coming out saying they wanted a change. Or
I think Cripps came out and said something that him and T get along well.
Yeah,
and that he has no problem with those two. So,
I mean, he had a higher win percentage than Hardwick and
Alistair Clarkson.
Yeah, in their first 50 games. So I think he's getting a job, or Richmond are looking to bring him on as an assistant coach. So I don't think he'll be the end of his coaching career. But do you see, another topic I had is, do you see Clarko coaching next year, or do you reckon he'll actually take off that year?
No, he's already said that he's not.
So he's definitely not?
Yeah. I think his manager came out yesterday and said that he's definitely not going to be coaching next year. So, I don't think he will.
Geez, what do you do? Who's going to be in for him the next year then? Will it be Collingwood trying to have an interim coach all year? Or
that's the interesting thing. Like, what do you do? Because obviously Carlton are going to be looking for a coach now. Collingwood are as well. So what do you do? Just hire a coach for a year in knowing that Clarko is going to be back, or what do you do?
I think if you're Collingwood, that you just keep Harvey for the year, and then that's if you're very confident of getting Clarko. But
but you can't bank on that.
Yeah.
I think it's good for Clarko as well, just to take himself out of the game for a year or so. Spend time with his family and his friends, like he said he wants to do. I don't think he needs to be harassed every time. Like he gets interviewed in that about, you're going to be coaching. Like he's already said he's not going to be coaching. I think he said multiple times he doesn't want to do it. So I don't know why, like the media and that always need to be harassing him with those types of questions.
I think,
couldn't agree more.
It's interesting though that he wanted to travel. I don't think he's going to be able to travel anywhere.
Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting comment. You never know. Midway through next year, you might be able to. God, we can only hope.
All Australian team was announced last night. Any surprises? People left out, snubbed?
Yeah, I think Stringer and Wiedering were pretty stiff, but it's still a pretty good team. But I still don't understand this whole midfielders playing on the wing, and I just don't understand it. Honestly, do not understand it.
I saw a stat this morning. Some person put up, and he's like percentage of player playing on the wing, and it was Seedsman at 75% who had an unreal year, and Merritt who played 3% on the wing. So I mean,
I just don't get it. I really don't get it.
If you're going to have a team of the season, you put the players in their positions. I get Petrarca going forward because he did go forward for a fair bit during the he played similar to Dusty, so I get it if you put Dusty in the forward line.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Bond, he played a bit forward. I didn't watch many Bulldogs games, so
I'm glad Papley made it.
Yeah, well, I was surprised Fritsch got left out. I thought he had as much as I don't like him as a player, he had a really good year. But
that's true.
I'm just glad Steele got on.
Yeah, I was going to say the only thing you could do with that is maybe put Bont to the bench, even though he did play a little bit of forward, but then you'd have to put like Jack Steele out and bring Fritsch into the forward line. Like it's a tough one. And Nick Nat surprised me a lot.
Yeah, well, people were saying maybe Sean Darcy should have got in over Nick Nat. So I think it was
that'd go down well after their little their little Twitter exchange. When was it last year? The year before?
No, that wasn't Sean Darcy, was it? That was Riley O.
Oh no, that was from Adelaide. Sorry, I got the wrong person.
I'm just trying to think, like, you don't ever see a midfielder get put in the back line of a all Australian team. It's always the forward lines, because obviously they go forward to rest. But it's a bit stiff on forward line players that play there most of the season. Sharpie, you have any thoughts?
No, it's all good. No, we're good.
All right, we'll get on to the games this weekend. First one is tonight, Port Adelaide versus Geelong in Adelaide, which is key to put. Who you've got?
Yeah, I've got Port winning that one. I reckon it'll be a good game though. But yeah, I think Tommy Stewart's too big a loss for Geelong going forward. Sorry, Baden, if you listen, mate. But yeah, I think Port win this one.
Sharpie?
I'd like to see Geelong win in Tommy Hawkins' 300th game. As much as I've never liked Tommy Hawkins, I think. Jet. Yeah, I just don't like him.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Geelong win, but I probably do see Port winning here.
I'm gonna go the upset. I think Geelong are gonna win. I think they won there last time they played there. I just feel like Porter. They're both. It's interesting because Geelong always find a way to go out in straight sets when they don't make it to the grand final. But then again, Port are the biggest pretenders usually. They usually find a way to lose. So, I mean, I feel like a bold statement. I feel like whoever loses this game is going out in straight sets. So
that I can't not disagree with that.
But I think Geelong get up.
I reckon this is Port's year.
Really?
In Adelaide, like a lot of the games are going to be played outside of Victoria, so there's going to be a couple of Adelaide games, I think. So, yeah, I reckon this could be Port's year.
If Port win this, I do see them making the grand final, but if they lose this, I see them going out in straight sets. So it's pretty interesting. But
very much so.
I'm going to back Geelong. I don't really care who wins, but I think Geelong will win. Next game is.
Is there a bracket that we can do on this? This finals.
So I think if the loser of Geelong and Port versus the winner of Swans and GWS, which is.
I wish there was game. How you can do them for the college.
Yeah, I think there is
March Madness. Yeah, surely there is.
If you can get that up while I go on to the next game, we can probably talk about that. Swans GWS, the Sydney Derby or whatever you call it. This is even odds game from when I looked at it.
So it should be.
It's going to be so close. I think I kind of want the Swans to win, but then again, it would be does Buddy get to his 1,000 this year? I mean,
it's going to be close.
Imagine him kicking it.
He's going to be very close, I think. He's going to be. Yeah, imagine that. That would be absolute scenes. I've got to keep my housemate happy and say that I think the Swans will win. But I've got GWS as a asterisk there as a. You just don't know what you're going to get with them. They could just turn it on and Toby Green could kick 6 and win in the game, sort of thing. So I reckon that's nearly the match of the round for me. It's going to be a really good game. Sydney Derby.
If only it was up in Sydney instead of Tasmania.
That'd be unreal.
Sharpie?
Yeah, I'm just going to go with Sydney here. Me knowing nothing about both of those teams, really. So
I have a soft spot for Toby Green. I feel like he always gets hard done by, but he is an absolute gun of a footballer. Yep. He's
glad he made the All-Australian team.
He deserved it. So but in saying that, I don't like GWS at all. So I'm gonna go for the Swans here. Next game, what I probably think is the match of the round. They're all good matches, but for me, Demons versus the Lions. I think this is in Tasmania. No, it's in Adelaide. Sorry, because Western Bulldogs play in Tasmania. So,
I've got the D's winning. But I'm a bit worried about a minor premiership hangover here because they were obviously up and about last week after coming back and winning, and that's a bit of a worry for me as to how they come back after that. But I think it would have given them a lot of confidence that win last week. So I've got them winning, and the Lions forward line still sus for me.
Sharpie.
I'm looking forward to seeing Brayshaw and McCluggage. I like to see that matchup. That's going to be pretty good. So I've got Melbourne here.
Genuine wingers.
We've all got Melbourne here. So I think whenever I've seen Melbourne play at Adelaide Oval at least, they've always had Petrarca and Clayton turn it on. They've always had huge games there. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if that's a mini home advantage for them. So I've got the Demons. And the last game of the weekend, Bulldogs versus Essendon. Sharpie, we'll go to you first. Who do you have?
Bulldogs.
Oh, what a surprise.
Hopefully. Can they just win a game, please?
Doggies.
Please just win a game. I don't want to see Essendon go through.
Oh, think about it, though. It's been 20 years or something 19 years since Essendon won a final.
And I don't want it to end. I want it to keep going. I want them to still be losing. So screw that.
Lockie?
Yeah, sorry, Sharpie. I've got the Bombers winning this one.
See ya.
As much as it hurts me to say it. But it could go either way, honestly. But Yeah, the doggies just haven't been playing all that well the last few weeks. So I'm a bit worried, but if they turn it on, they could win it by 6-7 goals if
So-
they really want to. So
So I've got the bracket here.
yeah,
So-
I've just found it here as well.
The loser of the Brisbane-Melbourne game will then face the winner of the Bulldogs-Essendon game.
Yeah.
And the loser of the Geelong-Port Adelaide game will face the winner of the Swans-Giants game. So there you go.
Mhm. Yeah. And I've
Um,
actually just found a bracket that I could do.
Entering it in so you can win some money.
I might do that.
Pass that on to
Might
us
do that.
after.
Yep, will do.
I've got Essendon winning as well. I think without a proper ruckman, I mean they got Tim English, but they had issues against Essendon last time they played without is it May? Stephen May.
May.
Oh, Stephen Martin.
Martin.
Stephen Martin.
Yeah, he hasn't played in like 11 weeks or something.
I think him not coming back, being rushed back, is probably a big loss for them. So I think Peter Wright won't kick 7 again because I think they got Keith back for Bulldogs. But I think Essendon is going to be the upset
He's been playing well though.
Yeah, he has been.
Big 2 meter Peter has been playing good football.
Yeah. But then again, Keith did lock down Charlie Dixon last week, so
he's a good player.
It'll be a very good matchup. Well,
yep, he's a good player.
That's all I've got for us to discuss today. Thanks for joining us, Lockie.
No worries at all, lads. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Sharpie, for not being sick.
Yeah, no worries. I'm trying my best not to be sick.
And thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.